And guess what? Of course I'm in Derby Gaol, but I'm far from alone because Wes is with me from Canada, no less. And he's a paranormal investigator. And, am I not right, you've travelled to Derby, especially to come to Derby Gaol.
Yes, it's been a lifelong venture to want to come here to the, obviously you have the place here, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, to come and see you and experience the jail firsthand, being a correctional officer or prison officer, as you would say over here.
Prison officer, would you believe? I mean, you couldn't come from a better place, could you?
For 32 years, and to do, feel out the paranormal aspect of this place, it's a great privilege.
But you run a paranormal group in Canada. Now, see, very quick, Wes. A few months ago, I had an Indian paranormal group here, who again had travelled, especially to see Derby Gaol. And I've always said that the ghost business is an English-speaking people's thing, and that's why I was so fascinated that they'd come all the way from Mumbai, doing ghost hunts, which is what they do. I know all around the world people have beliefs in life after death and spirit world and everything, but I've always said the ghost business is peculiar to the English speaking people. That's, in other words, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and of course, and here you are, because you are a member of, it's called COPS, isn't it?
That's right, COPS, which stands for Correctional Officers Paranormal Society.
Wow.
And there's a group of 4 of us, and we started around 2008, and we specialize in going to investigations in old prisons, asylums, but we also work in the community as well to help people that are having issues with hauntings, and of course it's all free. We that's our service to our community. And it's been very rewarding over the last 15 years. So, but it's always nice to come to a prison or a jail.
Jail,
and,
yes, exactly. Yeah.
They're obviously a jail smaller than a prison, but it's more the feelings and the atmosphere is more intense in a jail because you're kind of everything's all in one specific area, as opposed to a prison where it's so big and it's.
Have you got ghosts in your prison?
The prison I'm in now, I haven't experienced anything.
Right.
However, in the prisons I've worked at in the past, there have been. I worked in a prison that was completely made of limestone.
Oh.
And if everybody knows the stone tape theory and the limestone and how it records everything. It has a lot of interesting characters that are still around in there that I've been able to see.
You've seen them.
Just shadows. I haven't seen like full figures
No,
with depicting their
Features.
facial expressions and I've seen shadows, and specifically in certain areas of the prison, which I still don't understand the correlation to why I've seen them in specific areas as opposed to other areas, and I'm trying to figure that out as I go along. But it's a very it was built in 1835 and it was decommissioned in 2013. So
and you worked.
I worked there before 2013. But I've never really had an official investigation inside there, which is something I'd love to do someday. But they're very strict on it as far as the government. It's now historical property, and the Canadian government's very old-fashioned in the way they do things. So.
Do they not recognise ghosts?
I don't know. you would think they would, but no.
No. So how big is it in Canada, the ghost business? Do you have ghost programs? I know you probably get ours, but do you have your own ghost programs?
We do. One of the ones that we were featured on was called The Other Side, and it's a show that is actually done by the Indigenous people of Canada.
Right.
And we have a specific property that we don't have anymore because they've actually demolished it and set up housing, but it was an old asylum. and before that it was a military base. And we used to have access to this huge facility, and we used to do public investigations there. And so we would have all these different encounters. We'd bring the public out and show them what, I'd like to say a real investigation, not so much as the TV shows, I won't name any specifically.
Thank you very much.
But no, a little more kind of formal and
real,
and show people exactly that there is a lot of psychology involved in the paranormal that a lot of people overlook.
Because you've got a degree in psychology, haven't you?
Yes. I do.
Oh, wow. You're coming from both sides, aren't you?
So yeah, you really have to, when you look at the paranormal and studying the paranormal, you have to look at it more than a one-dimensional thing. You have to take in everything, and that's psychology, even physical evidence, and the gadgets that we have, they're just kind of a guide. And when I first started, it was all about the equipment and using the equipment to find out, get evidence. But then I soon realized that I was concentrating too much on the equipment and not opening myself up to the environment and paying attention to what's going on around me instead of my face buried in a machine. So
the only ghost detector is you and your dog.
Exactly, and the dog, and a small kid, but I don't take small kids.
Small kids, I've got big theories about that as well. But this is incredible for you to come here. I'm thrilled to bits that you've come to see us. I'm going to take you up to the prison now, up the road, and let you have a look up there, because this was a jail where you were only kept until your trial, and then punishment. Whereas up there, of course, it was a proper prison.
Well, I'm very honored, and I thank you very much for having me. And
my pleasure.
I've got these little goodies for you here.
Well, it's not Christmas, is it?
No, it's not Christmas, but you.
Oh, come on! Look at this.
You can now have an official correctional officer hat.
Oh, Christ! The pride of place here. That is fabulous. Look at that. Does it fit me? It's a bit big. It's a bit big, but that doesn't matter because it'll go on display here. Wow!
So one of the experiments we do when we're investigating old prisons is we walk up and down with, we'll have our hats, and we'll also have like our nightsticks, and we'll create an atmosphere where we're calling out the inmates and like we do something in the prison 4 times a day, which is a count. And we have to make sure all the inmates are there. So in the experiment, we'll walk up and down the halls and say, count up, everybody count up in their cells right now. And then it'll really bring out some of the things. Maybe not so much in this place because it was small. It was like a small jail, but that's my prison voice. So
wow, love it.
But we would be as authentic as possible. Like obviously in this jail, we would try to get an old uniform, maybe
trigger object type of thing, if you like,
but still be in the skin of a prison officer, right? And bring out that kind of.
Do you get results?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It really, like the sounds that we get, obviously it echoes through, especially a large jail.
Yeah, of course.
The echoes, but you can just feel the atmosphere. You can cut it with a knife. It's so tense after we do.
I bet it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, doesn't it, sometimes?
Because
it did me when you just did it, actually.
Yeah. It changes, doesn't it? And there's 2 sides of me, right? There's the prison officer, and then there's the, normal kind of guy, right?
Oh, there's a ghost hunter as well.
So, it's a different... in the prisons you can see, sometimes you'll see shadows coming out of their cells, and we're doing this because we went to Ohio State Reformatory in the States, which is a very large prison, and they've got like the floor is obviously down here, but then there are all these tiers of cells, and you can see these like heads, you think it's heads sticking out, and sometimes it's just shadows, but it's just the whole feeling is interesting. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, it's a great privilege and a pleasure for you to come here, and let's go up and have a look at the other prison. And thank you so much. And
thank you.
Tell you what, I wouldn't mind coming over and doing a few events.
You're always welcome.
Welcome. Shall we talk some more about that?
Absolutely.
But I would love to do that.
Sure.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right.